It's the Out of Nazareth podcast. Yalla Habibis. Jeries.
ازيك؟
أهلين.
أهلين فيك.
Fuad.
أهلا.
كيف حالك? How are you doing?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, another episode of the Out of Nazareth podcast. I'm here with two good friends. I've known them for quite a while. Actually, Jeries, I've only known you, I think, since the summer, maybe.
Well, I mean, that's when you officially met me, but
Right.
I've known you since I was 16, basically.
Right. And how old
Yeah.
are you now?
24. Just
20.
turned 24. Yeah.
Kul sani wa tasalam. Happy birthday. May every year you have peace. Now, Fuad and I, we go a little bit further back.
Yeah.
We've been hanging out at camps and whatnot. I've seen you grow up into the amazing man you are, truly. So, my dear friends, will you guys share your names, where you're from, and where you are, what number child you are in the family order? First, we'll start with Jeries.
Okay. Jeries. I live in Nazareth.
Jeries, what?
Jeries. غطاس.
Rodecaster, because I will say real quick, when I'm here and I get to know people and they say, what's your name? And I say, Zach. Min Aydar. From what family? This is always the next question because the community is so small here that like everybody knows everybody. So, Jeries Rodecaster.
Yes.
Okay.
I live in Nazareth, and I'm originally from Bethlehem, but we moved here when I was like 2 years old. I am the first child in the family.
Okay. How many siblings, brothers and sisters do you have?
2.
Boy
Just
and
me and another brother.
another brother. So
Yes.
no ladies.
No.
Poor mom.
Yes.
Okay. Real quick, because you touched on something there. Originally from Bethlehem.
Yes. My dad is originally from Bethlehem. We lived there until the Intifada in 2001.
Okay.
And we had to move because, they started shooting bullets at our house.
Oh my goodness, who?
Both sides, because there was on ground, exchange of fire
Okay.
at some point. And it got near our house up to the point where I remember as a kid in my own room, there was a window with a bullet hole in it that my dad closed with silicone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I grew up looking at a bullet hole in the window. And when they said that they wanted to close the border between Israel and Palestine because of the war, we wanted to move to Nazareth for a little bit.
Okay.
So
Wait.
we wouldn't be locked inside Bethlehem.
Okay. If you're, where's your mom from?
My mom is from Nazareth originally.
Okay.
So we moved in with my grandparents for a while, but things only got worse. So my dad bought the first house he could find in Nazareth, and
Get me away from my mother-in-laws.
yes, but nobody says that. And we've been living there ever since.
Okay. Bethlehem is within the West Bank, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And the West Bank, just for those who don't know, it's on the eastern side of the Holy Land, but it's called the West Bank because it's the
Western side of Jordan.
in the Jordan River.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Maybe you should explain what Intifada is.
That was literally going to be my next question. What is the word intifada mean?
Well, Intifada roughly translates to rebellion. So the Palestinians that had enough with what they called at the time Israeli oppression, and they waged war against the Israelis in hope of getting some of the land that was being taken from them back.
Okay.
Because they were taking land inside the West Bank itself, which was supposed to be Palestinian territory.
Okay, yeah.
So a war broke out, and sooner or later they started building more walls around the West Bank. Fun fact, do you know the walls in Bethlehem at the border?
Yeah.
They're really big walls.
Yeah, that have
They
all
weren't there.
the painting on.
Yes, exactly. They were not there. They were built because of the Intifada, so they could lock people inside even more. Because before the Intifada, people could, Israelis could go inside and leave. Even Palestinians most of them could leave and come back. There wasn't any problem with that.
Wow.
But because of the Intifada, they tightened the rules on the Palestinians.
Yeah. I have read about that. Building the wall. We actually tried to take that idea. Donald Trump did, building a wall along the southern border of the United States. Oh man. So Intifada, the first one was 2001.
No, the second one was in 2001.
Okay, there was a first.
It was a first Intifada, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 1989, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't go well either. Then, a few years later, in 2001, they decided to rage another Intifada
Okay.
in hopes of, actually achieving something this time, but things only
It just
got worse.
And there was a third one, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call it third Intifada. It was really more of a mini Intifada.
Mini one.
Because the first and the second one lasted much longer.
Okay.
And the consequences of the two Intifadas were much
more severe.
more severe than the one that was 2 years ago.
Okay. I think is 2014 the third one.
Well, in
one.
2014 there was a war on Gaza, but it's also I don't think there was a third Intifada officially.
Okay.
So historically there are two Intifadas and other
and then
mini
other
rebellions.
smaller,
Yeah.
I actually, when I moved here in 2014, I flew on Independence Day, July 4th. I landed, and that little mini Gaza bombing and skirmish happened right after that. My parents were like, can you call us every day to make sure you're okay and alive? So, dang, okay. So you, from the start, were experiencing some stuff. Haram, poor you.
I'm good.
I know, but like...
It's definitely difficult, but I've because it's been happening since I was a child. I've gotten used to it. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
It's just normal life.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jeries, and my buddy Fuad. Your name?
Fuad Haddad.
Haddad. And where are you in your line of siblings?
I'm the eldest.
How many are there?
A girl and a boy.
A girl and a boy. Okay. Lots of responsibility being the oldest.
Yeah, يعني.
And you are from
Nazareth.
Nazareth. Okay. Your whole life, have you?
Yeah, I'm not as interesting as Jeries.
No. Everybody's got their story, man. You have lived in the same neighborhood your entire life.
In the same building also.
In the same building.
Yeah.
Your entire life.
Yeah.
Because that's a very different experience than mine. I've lived all over and moved too many times. So being someone who's lived, like, I feel like you have to know every rock that's around this neighborhood.
Yeah, everyone also.
Yeah, and every person. Your name, where does your name come from?
After my grandfather.
Your grandfather, okay. I learned this about Arabic culture. Will you explain your significance of your name and why that's a thing in Arabic culture? And your grandfather, firstborn.
Yeah, they usually name the
eldest child of the firstborn son. They name them.
But I'm not the eldest.
It's the first. No, it's the first son.
I mean, they usually name
boy
the
number 2,
eldest son after the grandfather's name. So.
Yeah. That's what what I've learned.
Oh.
And so it's interesting, like through the years, the eldest son will name his first son his father's name.
Yes.
So like I'm the eldest son in my family, I should name my son John,
after your father. Yeah.
right? And it continues this line all the way down for centuries and centuries of the same name. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. We don't have like a official cultural thing like that in the States. But so be it. All right, guys. So Jeries, you're 24. Fuad, how old are you?
17.
17. You are senior year?
Yes.
Senior year at where? What school?
Baptist school.
The Baptist school, yeah. So I've actually been involved for 9 years, 10 years about here. Doing ministry, and the Baptist school, the American school as they call it as well, is where we got to start and just had the opportunity to come and build relationships with students. So I have a very special place in my heart for that school, and I've met many, many friends from there. Now, being from Nazareth, to my understanding, Nazareth is all, our experience. It's an all Arab city.
Yeah.
Background, Palestinian. From
Originally, it was a Palestinian town.
How did Nazareth, within the state of Israel, how did Nazareth come to be what it is? Like, why is it like only Arab place and city? And
well, the thing is that after the occupation in 1948, many Arab towns and cities were, one city, which is Nazareth, most Arab towns were inside the border of Israel after the independence. And what was left out of the border was the West Bank and Gaza, which are still technically not inside the Israeli border. So many Arab towns were included in the state of Israel. And most of these towns, if not all of them, have kept their Arabic heritage, their Palestinian heritage, and they refuse to succumb to Jewish traditions and there were many attempts during the years of Jews trying to move into Arab towns, but most Arab towns refused, and they were not welcomed there, let's say, except for a few like Haifa, which was originally strictly Arab and Palestinian, have had now is a mainly Jewish town with Arab sections in it, as well as Tel Aviv and other places.
Yeah. I live in Haifa currently, and there's a mix, and for what we hope for, it's amazing to see this mix of people from different cultures, even though they're kind of cousins, just kind of live and work together. And I love it. I love Haifa. It's my favorite city here in the land. Fuad, here, being Nazareth and our the famous guy that our podcast is kind of named for, Jesus of Nazareth. Can you explain to me the dynamics here? I know it's, there's Muslims here and Christians as well.
Yes. I mean, it was mostly Christians here before the occupation, right?
Okay.
And then when some villages evacuated to here, it became more Muslim population in Nazareth.
Okay.
And now we have more Muslims than Christians.
Yeah. It's more majority Muslim background. You guys both come from Christian backgrounds.
Yes,
true.
Or Christian families, and that's a whole element within itself. In terms of you kind of have to be something here, Muslim, Jew, or Christian. I know there's Druze and Ethiopians as well have emigrated here. Can you share about what it's like to be a Christian living in this town and this land?
Well, I mean, being a Christian in Nazareth especially, you're pretty much a double minority, because I'm a minority because I'm an Arab in the state of Israel, and I'm a minority because I'm a Christian Arab in Nazareth, a town which is has a majority Muslim population
As well, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's it can be very difficult at times, because throughout the years I have at times experienced discrimination from Jews, and I have also experienced discrimination from Muslims, which were supposed to be Arabs just like me. Most Muslims are actually really nice and accepting of the Christian population, but there are always bad apples everywhere.
I think everywhere, even within the Christian world, it's this good and evil battle we all deal with.
But personally, I've never really felt like I belonged too much in one place, because everywhere I go, I couldn't really feel like I'm a Christian Arab, and there are no places which are,
right. We do exist.
Yes, exactly.
Right. What about you, Fuad?
I mean, I'm still young, so I haven't much experience in that. But I think in Nazareth there is not much discrimination between Muslims and Christians, because we're used to living together.
Yeah.
So,
keep going.
I don't know. There's no difference between Muslims and Christians, especially in Nazareth. Maybe outside Nazareth there is, but here I don't feel like there is much difference.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of my really, really good friends come from Muslim background, and I think we all just, when you can see the humanity in whatever in another person, you don't let some of these little things cause more problems than they need to. What about, I know, and it works as the same in the States. Like there's Christian, nominally I come from a Christian background. These are my traditions. But then there's a whole other element of, I believe this about God and this about Jesus. I'm going to get to both of you, but I'm actually going to start over here. Your faith, Fuad, I think we're all blessed because we come from a background and our parents, instilled those beliefs and encouraged us in that way. But like, when did you kind of start to make your faith your own?
I think when maybe 13 or 12, when I really understood what my belief is, I started to grow my faith in God when I grew.
What allowed you to do that? How'd you grow in your faith? Were you just kind of reading the Bible? Were you attending things?
I mean, going to church became a habit because of my family. Then going to many Christian programs that helped me to grow my faith with God.
Jeries,
Yes.
yourself, we talked about this before, so
Yes, we did.
will you share a little bit about, one, how I got to know you at 16, or how you got to know me as well, and then how your faith walk has gone?
Okay. Well, you at some point were doing the Young Life thing.
Yeah, these are just youth group meetings, getting to know high school kids, provide a nightly thing, games, songs, and then there was always a message from the gospel.
And it had obviously a Christian theme to it, but at the same time, most of the kids showing up, or I wouldn't say most, but a big number of the kids showing up were not real believers. Most were lukewarm at best, and the other some were atheists like me. And the reason that I would come or go to Young Life meetings was the social element of it, and that's where we met. You were actually the first American that I met that actually lived here.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so it was kind of a surprise for me because I remember thinking, why would someone who lives in the United States would want to live here and work with high school kids?
It's so strange.
Yeah, it was insane.
I get this question all the time.
Yes.
Are you crazy, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
From America, you came here.
We wanna escape to the States. And well, that's how we met at the time, but it didn't really. I mean, I was an atheist at the time, and I stayed an atheist for years after that. And I do come from a Christian background, and I grew up in a Christian home, Christian family, but I was never much of a believer. And at age 12, I think, I was spending too much time online, and I got to know what was at the time, atheist groups and pages and all that. And I met a lot of atheists who encouraged my atheism, and I had a lot of questions growing up, and there was no one to really answer these questions. So I stumbled upon these people who were atheists, and they were like, "Well, the answer is just science." That's
yeah.
And that was for a 12-year-old, that was good enough.
Can I ask? I mean, at 12 years old, and this is something interesting about living in a place where religion is so ingrained in the society, is you guys at a younger age are asking questions that I don't think I was even thinking about. Growing up in the States. Maybe just if you remember one or two or three of the doubts or questions that really were heavy in your mind.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same questions I keep hearing over and over again nowadays from atheists. Questions like, if God does really exist, why is there evil in the world? And
Hey, Tata. Sure. No, it's okay. What's up, Tata?
تعال
Yeah.
staying in Nazareth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
that was nice.
that was perfect. Just lower this a little bit because I want to see your pretty face. All right, I love that. This is the naturalness of what just happened. So, real quick, culturally, here a lot of people live in one building, and it's like the whole family is the building. So, like, the first married couple will build this house, and then they have a son and they build a house on top of it, and then that and that. So actually, Fuad, this apartment is empty, but it was the starter apartment.
For everyone.
Above me, above this house is Teta Abla, which is his grandmother, and then above them is his house, and then above them is his cousin's house. So Teta just came down to tell us like what to do and whatever, but was fantastic. Anyways, back to Jeries. You were talking about the big questions that you had, the common ones.
The questions themselves were not that complicated. I mean, anyone who was well versed in theology could have answered me.
Why is there evil if God exists?
Yes, exactly. Things just really basic questions that I, as a new believer can answer nowadays. And I had an uncle who studied theology and actually served in the church in Bethlehem.
Wow.
And even he couldn't really, convince me or answer my questions. So it kind of just went on for many years, and as time went on, I became even more of an atheist. And I wasn't just any atheist; I was the kind of atheist who would debate Christians and was like,
"I'm gonna prove you wrong."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love debating Christians.
You dumb Christian who has faith in a God that you can't see.
Yeah, pretty much. And until I guess a few years ago, at age 20, 21, around that time, that I had a personal encounter of my own, and it led me slowly to go back to Jesus.
Wow.
And
Amazing, man. And this summer, I will say this summer, me and Jeries, we got to work together, Fuad as well, at these summer camps that we do a lot for the students from Nazareth. And I got to say, you were on the team of workers. We were in the
free
kitchen,
counselors.
Free counselors. We were in the kitchen, washing dishes nonstop, and just anything that was asked of us. And I just really appreciated and noticed quickly your willingness to help. So, cheers to you, man. Cool. I think it's really special because we all kind of go and walk on that journey. And I heard something recently: a wise man has doubts and is not sure of everything, and a fool thinks he knows everything. All right. Last question we'll ask is, what are you guys dreaming about or looking forward to? It could be in the short term, next couple months or years, or just long term. We'll start with Habibi Fuad.
I think at this point we're just like hoping to actually have a future in this land, but to not have to leave at some point or do anything. Just stay here, and so we could really have a future here and continue living here.
If you had the option to no wars or anything, no problems, to stay here or live somewhere else, what would you choose?
No, I would stay here.
What if your family went with you somewhere else? Like they were willing to go. Would you still, or do you like the land, the area, the culture, whatever, or all of it?
I think I would stay here. Like why leave? There's like no problem at all. I think I should stay here. Yeah.
Right on. And you're about to graduate this next spring?
Yes.
Okay.
Next summer, yeah.
And then what I learned here as well is that even in high school, students start to kind of like pick their majors and have a focus. What's your focus?
Not yet. I don't have.
You don't
focus.
yet? Okay.
No.
Right on. Man.
I still have time, so.
Yeah. Okay. What's something you like to do? And I mean, I remember the summer you started working with your hands and carpentry and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm more like into sports, but yeah.
Okay. You play ball? You play basketball,
Basketball, yeah.
Anything else?
Not really, no.
Okay. If you had, this is what I asked myself actually when I was trying to think about what I wanted to do with my life. If you had free time, no conditions, what would you do?
Sleep. But
well, yeah, teenager.
Yeah. I don't know. I should think about it.
Right on. Cool. Jeries, same question. Near future, long-term future.
Well, I mean, I did just hit 24, so I'm thinking about the long term. I recently I'm starting next week a job at a company called Deloitte. And
Deloitte?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that. That's from the States, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I have a couple buddies who work
Yeah,
for
the
them.
branch I'm gonna be working in Nazareth is actually an extension of the US Deloitte.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really hoping that I can do well, and in the long term, I would hope that I would stay there and just kind of be promoted at some point, hopefully. And I mean, I'm thinking about maybe in the next 4 or 5 years, if I can, I would start a family, hopefully, get engaged, get married.
Right on, man. And then same last question to Fuad. If you had free time, nothing to do, what would you do?
PlayStation, for sure.
What game?
Well, Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption
is my favorite.
You like open world games?
Yeah,
right on.
very much.
Cool. Right on, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Out of Nazareth podcast, you guys got to meet Fuad and Jeries. And yeah, not so different from everybody around the world. Hopes, dreams, and struggling with things. All right. Cheers, guys.